We've got Lori Rugle, Wiley Harwell, Tana Russell, and I'll be facilitating today, Maureen Greeley from the Evergreen Council on Problem Gambling. Let's start by talking about an exciting new addition to advanced trainings that are available in our field. Tell me a little bit about this new training. What is it? What's it called?
I think what's really important is to set the best practice standards. Without a federal agency overseeing gambling disorder treatment, there's a lack of standardization of evidence-based therapies and treatments and approaches. So you get a wide range of idiosyncratic approaches, some very interesting, some very entertaining, but not necessarily evidence-based. So we really thought it was important to get together experts in the field and agree on with the International Gambling Counselor Certification Board what are some really essential core competencies that we want clinicians to have.
Is this training specifically for clinicians, or can a prevention specialist or someone else who is knowledgeable in the field but may not be a certified counselor, can they take this course? Who was it created for?
This is really created to be a clinical training, to go hand in hand with the certification for clinicians. And we talked a lot about this, the pros and cons of making it. And we thought it really important that we really want people out there to know that their clinicians, the people doing direct care, are competent, and that the people providing the trainings are training them in the really important best practices.
I'd kind of like to know, what are the top 3 objectives of this course?
We spent most of our time, I think, finding research, and we tried our best to find research that was in the past 10 years, even 7 years. But as you know, there isn't just a plethora of research in our field. So there were a few cases where we had to rely upon older material, and sometimes it was good comparison, and sometimes I'm not as sure that it is. That was the big part, is finding research that is evidence-based and treatment-oriented so that counselors have the best of material out there. And I think the resource guide that we have that goes with the training gives people plenty of opportunity to dig deeper and to find extra material if they want, or just to supplement what they've already been doing.
Let me just say, there is, empirical research-based evidence, but there's also a preponderance of clinical experience evidence. So it's taking the research and making it relevant, and taking the clinical experiential evidence and making sure it's appropriate. So we were training the trainers to know how to make those discriminations moving forward.
We're trying to make it palatable to adult professionals working full work weeks. And so it's delivered over a length of time with some self-directed content, so they can at times go along in their own pace and also have the live training experience with good question and skill development with the trainers. I can't think of anybody better than Wiley and Lori to be able to help elevate trainers to be able to not only teach this, but one of the goals here is to create kind of a recipe book that people can take back to their states and customize. And they've built in ways to encourage people to include their regional information, their state certification information, their own case studies. And so they can really build this out to be something that is 100% relevant to their own audience.
There will be a group of people who will be passionate about this and want to be training others. What are the benefits for them? What are they going to see in skills development? Are there benefits from IGCCB? What's coming out of this for them?
Well, I think, some of the benefits are, you get listed as a certified trainer. And so any organization, entity that wants to do training, they know if they use a certified trainer for the IGCCB, their trainings are automatically approved. That's the level of trust that goes along with this certification. And I think that's the major benefit, that you really get recognized as somebody who's going to present what any entity needs for its own certifications or for international certification.
So they are invited to be participants in creating a quality 30-hour basic training for counselors that meets their regional needs, their state needs, and then is qualified by IGCCT approval as well. So it's a very collaborative effort.
I think just looking at the materials that somebody will get coming out of this, they will get more PowerPoint slides than anybody ever wants in terms of covering, 30 hours and beyond. And through the process of the course, they'll get to choose which ones are most relevant for them, how to personalize those slides. And by the end, that final assignment is creating their own 30-hour training with interactive exercises for participants as well as content-based material. And along with that, all the references that we use to put into our PowerPoints and handouts, screening tools, assessment tools, interactive exercises, treatment manuals, brain and gambling manuals, so I don't know where you can get that range of materials presented to you. So it's a lot of stuff that we'll be including with this that will serve people in constructing their trainings and their work.
What about presentation skills? Is there anything in here that gives people some tools and some tips and some help to be really good presenters?
I think one of the things about being a trainer, and even a gambling counselor for that matter, is believing in what you're doing and being enthusiastic about what you're doing.
We're having all the participants record themselves doing a presentation. One of my goals for people is they begin to find their voice. What's my unique voice? What's my style? Where's my comfort zone in terms of presenting? And how do I engage the participants in a training? So those are all goals as well, but they will record and get feedback from Wiley and I, as well as other members of the group. And there'll be other exercises in terms of presenting and some fun stuff like, how do you interact with your most challenged participant? How do you respond to that heckler in the audience?
A lot of advanced training in our field has focused on clinical skill development to benefit your clients. And this one is unique, and it's focusing on trainer skill development to benefit other counselors, which of course in turn benefits more clients. So it's exciting.
What can learners expect when they register?
We have worked very hard to make this as user-friendly, learner-focused, self-directed from adult working professionals as possible, while still giving that in-person element. And one of the ways we've done that is through our online learning management system. All elements of the training can be found there. It's a one-stop shop. The learners first review the material and answer a few questions as they go. And then they'll come together for a live webinar with Wiley and Lori to further discuss those and activities and other elements. And then afterward, they'll have a learning assignment on that same material. And that learning assignment will help them at the end to be able to create their own customized training, curriculum, agenda, everything. And so they can find all of that in one place online and go through it at their own pace.
I have to say, I went through it, and if I could do it, anybody can do it. So it is marvelously user-friendly, and it would send me gentle reminders that I had assignments yet to complete.
I think that's important to know, that people can walk away from this and come back and not have to start over.
We needed a plan for transmitting and transferring this process and institutionalizing the body of knowledge and the body of skills to maintain standards in the field.